Abel Sanchez has described his split with his former charge Gennady Golovkin as heartbreaking. And according to him, it all came down to money. He's been saying some pretty strong stuff. He's accused Golovkin of being greedy and questioned Golovkin's honor, and in fact, whether he has any honor at all. Now, they worked together for 9 years. And during those 9 years, Abel Sanchez wasn't just a trainer for Gennady Golovkin. He was almost like a publicist as well. Some would say a cheerleader, because he did more bigging up of Gennady Golovkin on camera than anybody else, including Golovkin's promoter. So for them to split so acrimoniously like this, and for there to be all this mudslinging, mainly Sanchez slinging mud at Golovkin, it's a bit of an eyebrow raiser to a lot of people. Now, of course, there have been many fighters and trainers who have split up in the past, and mudslinging has ensued after the split. But in most instances, you could see the cracks there before the split happened. For example, when Sergey Kovalev split from John David Jackson, as early as even the Pascal fight, you could sense that there was tension between the two. And of course, rumors were circulating. Even Pascal himself alluded to tension between Kovalev and John David Jackson. But in this instance here, with Golovkin and Abel Sanchez, there didn't appear to be anything but good vibes between the pair of them. So for it to end this bitterly is not unprecedented in boxing. Obviously, it does happen. But yeah, it's surprising to a lot of people because they were together for so long. And Abel Sanchez wasn't just talking about how great a fighter Gennady Golovkin was. He would also harp on about how great a human being Golovkin was. So he kind of is contradicting all the stuff he previously said. Now, what is the main issue here, according to Abel Sanchez? Well, he says that the standard fee percentage for a trainer to get from a fighter is 10% in the United States. And he says that since Golovkin did the DAZN deal, he's only been offered about 1/5 of what he would normally get, which is 2%. I don't know if there's some kind of contract between the pair of them, which has a clause that allows Golovkin to change the percentage that Sanchez gets. I don't know whether there's a contract at all. I've got no idea. The reason I bring up the contract situation is, again, this is speculation, but let's say Gennady Golovkin wanted a new trainer and wanted to fire Abel Sanchez. Perhaps there was some stipulation in the contract which prevented him from firing Abel Sanchez outside of a particular set of circumstances. And so the only way to get rid of Sanchez would be basically to put him on a lower percentage and essentially force Sanchez to quit. I mean, this happens in 9-to-5 jobs all the time. When they can't get someone on something to fire them, they basically make their life so difficult that they quit of their own accord. Is that what happened here with Abel Sanchez and Gennady Golovkin? I don't know. It does appear a little odd that Golovkin would reduce his percentage to such a small amount. Maybe Golovkin is greedy. Maybe Golovkin felt to himself, you know what? Since I've done this deal, I'm going to be making a lot more money. So I'll pay Sanchez the same amount of money as he's been getting for the past few years, which means it will be a lower percentage, if that makes sense. So he'll be getting the same kind of figure in his bank account after every fight, but that is a smaller percentage of Golovkin's overall purse because Golovkin's on more money now after doing the DAZN deal. So who knows what went on behind the scenes? Who knows why Golovkin has decided to split from Sanchez? I suspect that he just feels like he might be able to learn something more from someone else. Maybe he feels like he's a little stale with Sanchez, needs to hear a different voice, needs to be in a different environment, etc. Because to be offering a guy, 2% as your trainer? Abel Sanchez says his pride would not allow him to accept Golovkin's offer. You know, he's got too much self-respect and self-esteem to be accepting something like that. And that's understandable too. But obviously Golovkin doesn't feel like Sanchez is an essential part of his boxing career at this point. Otherwise, he wouldn't be offering him 2%, you know. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Are you surprised? I mean, for many years, there was a Golovkin hype train. And look, all major fighters, all successful fighters have got their cheerleaders, you know, their fanboys who go over the top. And with regards to Golovkin, his fanboys were at one stage harping on about what a great human being Gennady Golovkin is and how he's not in boxing for money and it's all about principles for him. In fact, I think even Abel Sanchez was talking about that, which is the irony of it. But here we now have Abel Sanchez saying Golovkin is greedy, which would suggest that he very much is in it for the money, which is what I said all along. You know, when the Golovkin fanboys were talking about, oh, Golovkin's all about pride and honor and he don't care about money. I always thought that was a load of rubbish. He's a prize fighter. You don't go on for as long as Golovkin has in this game and not care about money. Of course you care about money, you know? So it is what it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're risking your life every time you get in the ring. It's a very dangerous profession. Make as much money out of it as you possibly can. I don't see any problem with it, you know? And as far as him firing Abel Sanchez, getting rid of him, I ain't got no problem with that neither. I mean, a lot of the time it's not what move you make, it's how you do it. So perhaps it was the manner in which Abel Sanchez was dispensed of, which has left a bitter taste in Sanchez's mouth. If Golovkin had come to him and said, you know what, Abel, I want to move on in my career and work with somebody different. Thank you for what you've done for me, but it's time for me to change. Maybe Abel Sanchez would have taken it better, you know, but the way that Golovkin went about it, reducing his percentage to 2%, according to Sanchez anyway, I could see how that does come across as a bit of an insult, you know? Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this situation in the comment section below. It's happening, I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.